let's have a look at her forehead. You see that the light reflection is quite good. She has nice convexity, but she has little bits of flattening. And those little bits are over here, maybe centrally, and just laterally over here. And so she will need just a little bit of product to improve the contour of her forehead. Different ways to do it, and all these techniques you have to be conscious of the danger zone, especially the arteries of the supraorbital, and they can be anywhere, and the supratrochlear arteries over here. So the supratrochlear and supraorbital arteries, and supraorbital artery on this side as well. So if you want to use a needle, you have to make sure that the needle goes below the galea. Below the galea, because the arteries are actually more superficial than the periosteum over here. But because the tissue is so thin, it would be possible that with a needle you can push the artery to the periosteum and then enter into the vessel, even though the needle tip might be touching the periosteum. So we have to use a smart technique if we want to use needle technique. So let's mark again. This is definitely danger zone for needle technique, so we have to be very smart. So I take a 45-degree entry, go through the skin, tent the skin, create some space below the galea, and so the bevel is down, I'm touching the periosteum, and I'm injecting 0.025. I reposition the needle again on the periosteum, another 0.025. Pull, reposition, 0.025. The reason that I'm maximizing the amount to 0.025 is that research shows that from the supratrochlear artery to the retina is anywhere between 0.04 and 0.12 mLs. So if you maximize the bolus in this area to 0.025, you should be relatively very safe. 1, 2, 3. And it's nice to use the 0.025 because practically the syringe has these markings of 0.05. So 2 boluses per marking. Make sure the bevel is down. You tent the skin. Go straight to the periosteum. Only when touching the periosteum, then give a little bolus. Okay, right now I have to give a lot of pressure. That means that my needle was stuck in the periosteum and there might be a little bit of periosteum inside that needle. Yeah, so there was a needle block. So you could change the needle. It also gets blunt, so the needle gets blunt, so every time you have to penetrate the skin, it becomes a little bit more painful. I'll go straight down again to the periosteum, 45-degree angle. Very soft touch. 0.025. 0.025. And over there. 0.025. That's it. Over here. So this is definitely an area where we have to be careful. So I go 45-degree angle to the periosteum, small bolus, 0.025, touching the periosteum, a little needle block. 0.025 is on the periosteum, 0.025. I'm getting a lot of block of the needle. just micro drops. So this is definitely an area you should never inject with a lot of pressure or a lot of volume. Always be very subtle and minimal. And give some pressure after the injection because of all the vessels that are running here. We have to be conscious of bruising as well. Let's start again. I'm just, taking a look at where I see a little bit of a depression. Bevel goes down, 45-degree angle, entry point. I tint the skin, make sure that the needle touches the periosteum, and I give a little bolus of about 0.025. Reposition, and again a little bolus of 0.025, not too much. Then you have a little bump, you just even it out. This area over here, sometimes you see this superficial temporal artery. I feel the pulsation over here, so definitely be careful because this is very close to that artery. Okay, so I guess we've done, a little bit over here. Again, tint the skin with the needle, go straight to the periosteum, 45-degree angle. I'm on the periosteum, give it this tiny little bolus. And then small baby step away from there, tiny little bolus. Small baby step, tiny little bolus. And again, tiny, tiny, tiny. Make sure you inject just minimum amounts. See a little bump, even it out. You can spread it very nicely underneath the periosteum, underneath the gallia on the periosteum.